Okay, this is an impromptu live here. Hmm, I don't know where to start. Basically, I'm going over in the background, right? I'm going over my spirituality readings for my Rumble page. And I come across last night I was filming a video it was for Pisces. Um, and I've been guided to do a part 2, even though I have not posted part 1 yet. Um, and there's reasons for this. So I'm going to start. Just give me a moment. I'm going to start to do a reading here. It's very impromptu. And it's going to be a part 2 to a series that I've got on Rumble. It's not yet out. I'm working in the background to edit it. I just filmed it last night. It's very shocking. I don't know how to preface it really. So I'm just going to get into the energies and I'll start shooting stuff out as I go. I'm not going to wait for anybody to come in, nothing. Just going to start shuffling cards here. So this will be the sequel to the Pisces reading. And I want to get underneath all of this energy. There's an exposure that's about to happen. And if I'm getting all my information correctly, it may free up the Pisces from a system they've been battling with underground for years. I'm very interested in that because I'm a Pisces myself. And I'm just going to get into the usual heavy hitters here. The Isis deck and whatnot brings up a lot of past life, weird shit that nobody believes in. But nonetheless, again, I feel like this is going to be a pivotal point. The year of the 7 has brought a lot of strong energy with it. So we're just going to start. Sorry, I just come from an appointment, just come from outside, and I'm sitting down and starting. So here we go. We're going to get into the Isis card. I'm going to do, again, it'll be like a spirituality reading. And we're going to get underneath things here. So I'm just going to let that be because I don't even know where to start right now. Just this information that I found out. I don't think I'm the only one going through it. And you may not be the only one going through it, but it's going to end quite quickly here. So I'm going to see if we can get some background energy on that. Forgive me, I'm shuffling. A lot of things have been happening in my path at this point. A lot of weird energies have been entering my field. And I say weird, but it's like uncommon for what I'm used to. And that's deliberate because there's an intention to connect to the all that is. And it's a feeling of being unbound from something that may be binding or trying to bind. Okay. First 3 cards here. As I go forward, I have no stand, nothing prepared. I'll just have to notice where my camera is. Okay, the first card from Isis. Yeah, magic and ritual. This is a card that came up in the Pisces reading, so they are congruent. The energy is here to continue the conversation. I want to make this a separate reading, so I'm just going to divide it and separate it from the reading that I already did. So basically what this magic and ritual card is about is magic and ritual, ritualistic behavior here that is done in order to gain access to the Pisces field. This is what I'm getting. On the daily, someone is trying to access your energy field. Okay, that's number one. Second card, truths unveiled. The revelation of Isis. So this is about the, coming to the root of matters. So if someone's been on a spiritually heavy journey here, it is about to come to a peak here. Unveiling is really the word that I get. Was that in? Yeah, unveiling is the word that sticks out the most here. And they're showing me the woman with her eyes closed. It's a sense that we may not have seen completely what was going on here, though we could feel everything around us shutting things down. So if anybody's been in a repressive energy and maybe not even realized it, is the sense that I'm getting. May have some Pisces here. I'm going to stick with the Pisces because this is the sign it came out in. Very highly veiled from the truth here, and that's deliberate because the people that are pulling on our energy field, they do not want to be revealed, and they do not want to be stopped from doing this, is the sense that I get. So this is very much something that is coveted on that other side of things. Spiritual attack, yes. Spiritual pulling of energy, yes. Anything that they can do in their spiritual power, they're doing it. And in fact, upping the ante here at this time. And I'm saying this time is, we'll say from the beginning of this year forward, everything is times 10 on their end. Now, there's stuff going on in the background. And we'll get into that later. But the sense is here, if we've been having a spiritual struggle or fight here, it is about to be paramount to one, revealing itself to us in all, for all to see, and two, being dealt with karmically. Oh, wow. Okay, ancient power mysteries again. I have weird stuff happening to me this since the year began. My field has been shouting things at me, things that I cannot put together. But when I sit down here and I do a reading, then suddenly the puzzle pieces start to make sense. But there's energies outside of me pulling me away from that to the highest degree so that I can't sit down and figure it out. So now this is where I'm sitting down. I've had enough. So this is what's going on here. Now, I just recently got called to look up this thing, this instrument, and it's an old instrument that the Egyptians would use to make sounds. It makes music. There's some discs in here missing. They don't have discs, but some of them have discs, almost like a tambourine almost. And it plays music. And it's interesting to me. They did this before I instinctively made a move here. Or after I did it. Man, everything's coming together here like in 3D. So anyway, this is a music making machine from the Egyptians, okay? This music making machine was used by higher evolved beings in order to use for healing, for passing of souls from darkness to light, this kind of thing. This is what it was used for. And in this day and age, as we upgrade into the future here, or the present really is what is going on here. As we go into the present, I do energy work, healing work. with souls, and I've done some. It's kind of on hiatus at this point. I have no clients coming in, and that's also delivered. Now, what happens here is part of the energetic work that I do to help people bring their souls back into healing, so they get all their parts back from anything that was trying to do what is being done here, trying to pull parts away, disjoint the psyche, fragment the mind, all of that, of the power to bring that back into balance. Now, in the past, when I've done this, I do this on a 5D plane. There's certain mechanisms that come to me that I've never seen before. One of them being an instrument somewhat like this that we use to solidify the soul in its clarity, in its truth, and it's in its divinity, right? So ancient power mysteries, I get back to the card. I had to explain that. Hear the rattle of Isis playing. And when I hear that, for me, it means that all these souls that have been fragmented, all these souls that have been traumatized to split and go off in directions here and be in chaos, in a sense, there's an intentive energy field here doing that intentively to destroy these souls, fragment these souls, so they can come in and be the solution to bring it back. But in actuality, they're the solution to take you down into a karmic cycle, to just pull your energy until there's none left. And then they discard and go to the next one. And they just want a line of people that they can bring this in and do this to. And there is a line of people that are kind of walking down the road. But a lot of them now are starting to wake up, me being one of them. Ancient power mysteries, hear the rattle of Isis playing. What they're saying to me there through this card is, hear the rattle. That means all these soul parts are going to come back together and originate in one divine being as they were meant, as they were born, as they were projected is the negative, as they were supposed to be. This is what's going to happen. Now, in the process of this, those people that are pulling on that field, that are taking or have taken or have survived for a period of time off of these energy fields, are going to, right, when we take from one to replace it back to the original state, those are going to deplete. So everything that they have aligned with, or they're going, it's not an alignment. They're saying, I'm having a hard time translating the words to the what's actually going on here. I get a visual and an emotion, and I got to translate that into a limited vocabulary from here, right? From here. And they're up here. So the rattle is bringing back, and this is in the future, this is coming, this is already starting to balance out the energies, okay? So this is deep soul stuff, deep, heavy stuff, okay, for some people. And it may be shocking who goes down because of this, because a lot of them may be doing it subconsciously, a lot of them are doing it consciously, and deliberately and relentlessly. So the subconscious people will still have to pay for this in a karmic balance. The conscious people will pay with their lives, or detriment to their lives, in a way that is severely heavy and severely limiting, if not life-taking. No joke. So the ancient power mysteries, this is in the future energy. Right now, truths are being unveiled. I literally learned a truth last night, and I'm going off it. I will not take a chance that this is not real. My brain is wanting to say, okay, this is horseshit. This is no, I'm not playing into this field. But a part of me is saying, what if this is correct? What if this is time sensitive material? What if? And I'm not willing to take the chance that this may be right, this may be correct, and this may be detrimental to someone's path forward, to either hear this information, know this information, or move forward. So I'm going off a huge tangent here, sacrificing my own integrity of what I want to put out or don't. This is beyond that. So just to know that I'm in my courage here, trying to not make a fool of myself. But at the same time, if I do, and one person here heard this and it helped them, then it's worth it. Okay, so that's the first level here. We got magic and ritual. There's a heavy, and again, everybody's swirling down the drain. So those of the darkness are really trying to pull anything that they can, including parts and fragments of people that are of higher frequency. And not only that, in the field, I've just recently, there was a dude, I watch his videos as well. He was saying, I'm having a rough time, stuff's going downhill. And I kind of just put a little comment there saying, it's going around, but at the same time, it's like I'm not having it anymore. I'm not knowing this stuff and letting it go. All these secrets have to be revealed. There's already in the field, there's a thing they don't want you saying. Okay, anyway. There's magic and ritual going on everywhere. And those that are in darkness, in the fields where they have a lot to lose, and not only a lot to lose, but they're working on borrowed time, those ones, they're energy harvesters, those ones, those are the ones that are circling the drain. Now, in desperation, they're going outward, they're doing times 10, things times 10, like let's just grab as much as we can on the way out. Even though they're going on the way out, they're trying to grab as much as they can on the way. That's our past energy. Magic and ritual has been put here, and there's going to be a lot of people shaking their heads, going like, what, shaking it off. So truths unveiled, that's the present. So there's going to be some truths coming to light. This is not news. I don't know if news would cover it, but in the world for us to see, there's going to be truths unveiled everywhere. This is global. They're showing me like global, like from way out global. Doesn't your country, it's worldwide. Okay. So there's truths being unveiled here. We need to listen to this. Shocking truths is the thing. Not going to be easy to take is the thing. Some people are going to shut their eyes to it, frankly. And there was a big part of me that wanted to do that. But I know that this process that I've been through my whole life, it's coming to a peak here that I can't just sit back and not say anything anymore. Even though I have readings and everything's underground, I'm coming above ground here. I'm no longer going to be part of the darkness because silence can be approval, right? And I'm no longer. So the truths are being unveiled. That's in the present and going into the future. Ancient power mysteries. Hear the rattle of Isis playing. What that tells me is, from my own work of soul healing, everybody's going to get their original parts back from those that took them deliberately or non-deliberately, consciously or non-consciously. They're all coming back to the original points. So what's going to happen is the greatest empowerment you've ever seen. And the perpetrators that are taking all of this energy, they're going to be seen now as fallen. They're going to fall. And there's going to be certain sectors. Certain sectors. I'm laughing because it's going to be obvious. It is kind of obvious already for those that are finally tuned to this. It's going to be certain sectors that are going to have a lot of fallout in their fields. There's going to be a lot of people falling. And this is, you can't, You can't lie it away because karma don't lie. This is what I'm getting. Okay, we're going to get into some deeper to explain here. I'm going to go into the Gaia deck. This is kind of the energy I've been waiting for this last year, actually. You could feel, for those that are spiritually evolved or on the spiritual path of working to spiritually evolve themselves, they could feel something big in the field. It's here. It's the revealing of all that was taken. Because why? How are we going to reveal that? Because we're going to get it back, first of all. So all the power that was taken from us through manipulation, through mind, like mindscapes is what they gave me, but mind manipulation, physical manipulation, any kind of tactics to weasel us out of something that's rightfully ours. This is all going to come to light here. Thank God. This is what I'm getting. Okay, let's stay in the field here. Okay. A lot of people on their spiritual path that are trying to get to their empowerment, their divinity, right? Trying to get to that root ball of feeling good all the time. And again, it's a sliding scale, but some of us are going like this up, it's up and down. It's not, it's like a bipolar thing. For those that are in that energy, and you will know this because it's constant, you'll be constantly fighting the good and the bad, the good and the bad. Not fighting the good, but trying to stay in the good, and then the bad comes in and brings us down. And it's like, it's in a sense, it's not our fault because there's someone out there doing dark magic to utilize this. What they're doing at that time when we're low is they've siphoned us of the energy, and they're going off and utilizing that energy in whatever shape or form they feel. So this is they're showing me the levels. Instead of being up and down like this, they're going to slowly balance out. And this is what's starting slowly to happen, because we can't just wake up in our divinity. We'd be like crazy. We'd be so happy and euphoric that it would, it'd be weird, like everybody run around high. So we can't have that. We got to slowly break into this. And how do we do that? We bring up the darkness that pulls us. Okay, say out of a 1 out of a 10, right? From 1 to, I always do a 1 to 10 scale with people I work with. What's your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? And they'll say, okay, well, it's 7 today. So that means 7 or a 10 is like excruciating pain I can't deal. So 7 is like really bad pain. So if we're going to reduce that, we make it more of a 5. And then we go down to 3. And then we slowly reduce it. So there's a sanity quotient here we're looking after. This is what's happening over, actually, what they're telling me here is the last year we've been dipping into that energy field, touching it. They're showing me little sparks. We're touching into that field to prepare for this year is going to be grabbing hold of that field and actually emphasizing the reduction of these numbers in this way. So again, the rebalancing of those that are pulling energy from other energy harvesters, what they're giving me. Those that are the energy harvesters are really the ones that are going to start. They're showing me, tumbling bricks that fall, right? This is what's going to happen. And they're showing a lot of them. And again, surprising in the field, because some of them are doing it consciously and some are doing it unconsciously. But the pattern here is that there is a sect of people that are brainwashed to believe that it is for a higher good. And there's still karma to pay for this. There's still karma to pay here. And this is what's happening at this time. Deaths. You're going to see a lot of deaths in high, what do you call? Like high sight people, meaning people in clear view of us There's no hiding from this. Man, this is intense energy here. And again, I not fully accepted this 100%, but I don't think I could live with myself because I've already had instances where I should have said something and I didn't, and there was a consequence. So I'm not doing that no more. Okay, on top of the magic and ritual here, as we expand on that energy, again, there's a lot of magic going around, and the time is up. And in fact, that magic that people are using to harvest that energy, that is being slowly reduced on a scale. These people they've tapped out their karma banks. They can no longer put any more karma here because it is done. We have enough here to not continue living on this earth. Okay. Now, because of this, shuffle one more. What do we have going on here? What are they going to highlight? Healing. Yeah. There's healing that needs to be done because of this. Now, some people may accept that healing, and this may be a lifelong path to do this in this form, depending on our age, right? They're showing me the scale of age, depending on the intensity and whatnot. Those that will fall, I'll just say it like that because it's pretty harsh. This is harsh stuff, but this is it. This is the end of the line. And I had a dream, and I mentioned this in one of the readings, but I had a dream where I saw the earth, big, bright, beautiful, like the biggest, brightest, beautiful picture of earth you could ever see. And then there was this big black moon coming over to eclipse it, and I got a sense of fear and dread, and then boom, it blocked it right out, and there was a line of white light, and it just gone. And now I can make sense of that because it means no longer will the field be messed with in this way. We can no longer have this. It could be the ascension from 4D to 5D or 3D to 4D, whatever. It's an ascension process that limits. It no longer allows this stuff to happen. So what does that mean? No longer allow? It becomes removed. It cannot be. So if you are in that frequency, you are removed in some way, shape, or form. This is what's happening. Unless you decide to heal. Now, magic and ritual, there may be some that will choose to heal. And there may be some that choose that path. And it's not going to be easy. And it's not, depending on what kind of karma we built up here. But some can repent and some can, depending, again, what we've done, how much energy we've harvested, how much how much karma we gotta pay back. So there's a sense here of needing healing for those that are still here. If you are physically here, there is hope that you can heal. Again, it won't be easy, and it may not be all that we understand in this way, because what they're showing me here now is there's some people here that may be still on this earth plane, allowed to go forward because on some level, they have a conscious level, they have repented. What's going to happen to those people is if they step out of line, there will be huge steps backward that will happen. And in fact, it may be health conscious stuff that will happen to, again, people may not contribute health to good and bad, like this kind of stuff. But this is what they're telling me. Those people that decide and go forward, any step backwards that they make in habits or rituals of the past, they will be highly punished for, if not removed completely. This is also possible. So there is some gray area here, though seen from above, it's not gray. We choose the path of light or we discontinue. That's it. How they go about that, that's their choice, right? That's where they flux in and out of things. And again, being in our truth is really going to elevate us. If we're simply in a form of not telling truths or not being all that we are to others, this is going to be the most bumpy ride ever, and you may not make it out the other end. Okay, so on Truths Unveiled here, again, this is happening at this time. I feel very highly. I just can't wait for the politicking to start. But anyway, it's already there. I mean, most people are seeing it that are evolved enough. Again, there's going to be people who don't want to see it, don't want to look. And those are the people that are really going to be bumbling around. They're really not going to be making headway because of that. But anyway, the Truths Unveiled, what do we get for an expansion card there? We get the 6 of Fire. Okay. Now this speaks to energies, right? Okay, so truths are unveiled. The truths unveiled of who is taking advantage of who, and who's demeaning who, and who's harvesting from who. This is going to be seen. Now, what they're showing me is these two people have committed wrongs, and they may choose to truce. Okay, that's it. I, kind of pause in the field because they got to reassess. The problem is they were on a certain trajectory spiritually or what have you, right? Trying to get, let's use energy harvester as an example. They're trying to harvest all this energy. Now from above, we're being exposed. You're one because you did this. And there's a whole line of facts that line us up with that. We can't deny it, though they will try and deny it, but they are in pause here. They're in shock because they're like, whoa, how do I get out of this? I've been exposed. It's like somebody, it's like they're showing me somebody open the bathroom door and they're naked, getting ready for a shower. You can't unsee that. It's there for you to see. Some people may walk away and just block it out. Some people may close their eyes and go, no, I don't want to see it, freak out. This is some of what's going to happen here. Some, they're showing me, will run behind you and go, I'm not naked. They'll run behind you and go, this is not happening. You didn't see what you saw. And meanwhile, so there's an attempt here to save face, but we cannot, for those that are illuminated and our eyes are open, we cannot. Those that are willing on a level to close their eyes, those will take that in that way. So there's going to be a great flux in how people accept this information is what I get. And a stalemate is right down the center. So a feeling of pause is what I get. Hold on. Okay, stop the plan. Wait a minute. We got to reassess, but there's no reassessing. You go forward and you step in the darkness, you get taken out. Next. They're showing me a line of people, and the one guy, he steps out into the darkness because he wants to go back undercover. He gets taken out. The next person, what are they going to do? Well, they pause a little longer, but they go and they make whatever. Maybe they'll step in the light and then they'll be free. But the moment they step back into the dark, they're pulled. This is what I'm getting. This is what the universe is not having it no more. It's not the universe. It's the energy. It's the frequency. It cannot be. I don't know how to explain that on levels. Yeah, it just cannot be. You cannot choose the dark path and stay here. You get yanked somewhere else. So, ancient power mysteries. This is the future. Okay, I'm just going to continue with the top of the deck. And they're asking me to go to the bottom at the end here. Ancient power mysteries. Hear the rattle of Isis playing. The clarification card we get there is the 3 of air, which speaks to knowledge. I'm smiling because these are cards from the readings that I started yesterday that I haven't edited yet. I haven't even brought through. So I'm finding this interesting. So there's knowledge coming forth. We're going to have to review that knowledge. We're going to have to let it go over our emotional center, which is going to be harsh. And again, in the future, there's going to be things that have ended. Lives that have ended that we just question. We need to know more. And we will uncover the truth there eventually. It cannot be hidden is the sense. And I've been getting this message for the last year. So as we heal and get all our parts back and see with clarity the knowledge, we're going to go through and root through that knowledge and understand that. And it is of the frequency where we can't just say, be in denial of things. No matter, we are going to be more curious and more, there's more of a need to know why this happened, to dig deeper. There's more of that need. So those that are closing their eyes, they're the ones that will be, but again, it's not for their highest good to be in this mode, but they can continue as long as they stay in the light, is really what I'm getting. Okay. Bottom of the deck they wanted me to look at. The 10. I'm not showing you these cards. Hold on here. The healing card, right? I'm going to review. We're going to be healing on the earth from magic and ritual. The caduceus, that is the connection. It's all about the connection to the higher ups. And the sense is there was a level way down here just before we connect to people that was being infiltrated, that was being polluted, that was being manipulated. So the uncovering, this is our past energy. The uncovering of this is going to need healing over this time once we figure all of this out. The next card in the middle, which is the current energy, which is the present, we have that truth unveiled. Again, there's some people that will be wanting to not see what is going to be seen. It's like you see a naked body, you can't unsee that. You've seen it. You've opened the door. It's there. This is the energy of what's going to happen when the unveiling continues here. Now we have the 6 of the 6 of fire, and that's that truce energy that I was talking about. The energy of taking a pause, a hang time. Wait a minute, we got to re-strategize here. But the problem is no matter where they strategize, if they step 1 foot into the darkness, they'll be taken out of the mix. So I do feel like there's a few that got to fall right away. They're picking the dark and they're just getting taken out. So word's going to get out on the street. Wait a minute. That one got taken out. Okay, whoa. Okay, whoa. Now we're getting serious, right? Because we're tapping into consequences here. And a lot of these people, they never had consequences for any of their actions, conscious or unconscious. No consequence. Say that 3 times. So anyway, I gotta laugh because there's a lot of tension here. That's the truth. That's the holdup. I feel we're in it now. Why? Because in my life right now, it's been like I've been walking around like a zombie. I don't know what left, right. I feel like a bumper car that's just bumping into things. This is the energy. I'm an empath, so I pick up on universal energy. This is what's going on. And other empaths, they're doing the same. They're in a hang time mode. This is why. Because that dark energy is kind of, they're trying to reprogram things. But what they don't truly understand is that they're not at the top here. They think they're above the all that is, but they're not. They're underneath, and the all that is waiting for them to make their move to take them out. And they're kind of like stalling at this point, is the sense. The future, the Isis, the ancient healing. This is kind of like an ancient tambourine. It's the rattling, the settling of the souls, everybody getting back their parts energetically that were lost or taken without their permission. This is all coming back to settle into the original souls that it came from. And because of this, some people, that's all they did was steal from one person or many people. And when that energy goes, there's no room for nothing else, because this is an empty soul. So this is what's happening. Half of us are going to get our souls back. The other half are going to get them taken away, because that's where they came from, dark and light. And then this is the knowledge, us rooting through all of the knowledge here of having to deal with all of these empty souls. We won't, well, let's clarify that, shall we? We won't be dealing with the empty souls. They will be no longer in existence. And I'm saying like no longer. And so this is going over all of that. Once we've once the truth has been unveiled, this is us going over it and going, okay, wait a minute. I thought it was this way. It ain't that way. Da, da, da. So this is us looking into that information and going over all of that with a fine-tooth comb. Again, like we have never in the past. There's a curiosity here to get to the bottom that is spiritually implanted so that we understand from our compassion what happened here. Because we need to understand from a compassionate sense what the hell is going on here. And it is from that side. You know, they felt they could almost take over. It's like, no. So anyway, now the bottom card, they said, look at the bottom. This is the 10 of air. I'm trying to, yeah. I don't have my stand. The 10 of air, that's about looking to the highest of the high, right? 10 is the end of the cycle in these cards. They go from 1 to 10 4 times through each element. This is the air element. So this has to do with all that is unseen. And it also has to do with truths being revealed. And it also has to do with the truth being revealed about who is in charge here from the highest of the high. When you say all seeing, there's a sense in the field. All seeing is a negative because they may have utilized that to put them in a position of being higher than the Almighty, right? And again, there's a lot of distortions here that, I mean, you say it from black or white, it's all of divine order, but this is the all-seeing. This is connecting to the all-seeing. This is everybody going, okay, now I know who's in charge. Now I know who's in charge because this is truly of light, is what I'm saying. A completion cycle here where we truly see what is light and dark. For some people, this could be religious facets that are enmeshed in dark energies, you know, brainwashed, this kind of stuff. This card speaks to me a lot about that kind of energy. People that are under cults and whatnot, again, to false gods, right? This is about cutting through all of that and seeing we've risen above that. That's what this card means to me. So cutting through the cult mentality, seeing that there is a divine presence here, and it's not these people, and it's not this situation, it's not this belief, it's not. So I feel like the knowledge that we gain here, okay, as we get our parts back, right? This is the physical presence. It's a symbol of the physical presence of everybody getting their soul parts back. So evolution, if you will, and the knowledge. What's going on? Like the waking up and now seeking knowledge to understand what happened here and how it happened and whatnot. And then coming to a point where, yes, now I truly know what is real and what is not real, because the air cuts through everything. You see clearly. And you are of light. And notice the darkness is there, but everything else is bigger, right? We see the darkness now, it's reversed, because it used to be the darkness was fulfilling, but we were under a veil as to, no, it was light, but it's not light, it's dark. And now it's in its place. It's smaller than the rest of it. This is what I'm getting. When I do that, when I breathe heavily like that, I'm pulling energy from them and reducing my stress, because it's heavy stress to this message. Just need to say that. Now we're going to get into the wisdom of night cards. I'm going to expand on this healing energy. Sorry, I wasn't bringing the cards up. I'm really channeling a lot of information here, so I'm kind of buzzed out. Intense time for people, especially if we're in spiritual struggles. There's going to be a breaking point here. One will be seeing your master who has had control of you, that will be exposed to you in your field, as many as can possibly be for our safety, is what they're saying. I'm literally channeling stuff and I'm shocked at what I'm channeling, but nonetheless, I can't go on without sending this information out. So if you're in dark energy or plotting against people or whatnot, you should be very scared at this time because that energy is coming to reverse itself. Not only that, you may have noticed that it has been powerless in the last while, and that is as well the slowing down of the energy, and now it's coming back at those that are in that field. So beware. I don't think any of those people will be watching my videos, but I could be wrong. I know there's a few. There's a few that are watching because they're controllers of the energy in the field, and they no longer have that control, and they are realizing this on a certain level, but denying and pushing as much as they can, no matter. Here we go. Wisdom in the House of Night. I'm going to pull the cards right out. The first card we get is complicated. Yeah. Magic and ritual, it's all complicated. There's false idols, there's manipulation tactics, there's swinging things from lamps that just are opposite, upside down, inside out. It's not going to be an easy road, 1, to understand, 2, to heal from, or 3, to really make sense of. It's going to be a hard, complicated road. And some people, because of their belief systems, will refuse to heal or identify. So this causes problems and complications in that field. That's what I'm getting. For the healing, some people may not have a belief system that taps into this. So therefore it complicates the healing process, because if we don't believe it, then we can't work with it. We can't deal with it. And yeah, I even struggle with some of that. I do struggle with something like that's far-fetched, but here we go. The next card down the center, again, truths will be unveiled. There's a pause in the field. They're replanning. They're trying to gather their resources at this time. You go ahead. You can continue to make another plan, but it's still going to be yanked out from underneath you. So they're just waiting. Non-judgment. You pick the dark, you get taken out. That's it. That's all. It's pretty black and white there. Now, self-worth, that will be the deciding factor for these people, the energy harvesters, I'll call them. This will be the deciding factor as to where they go forward. They will not go back. They just stop. They choose self-worth path, work on yourself, make yourself a better person, or you get taken out. And that's pretty basic energy. That's the intuitive energy that maybe now that they're showing me a process here. These people make their own world. They've made their own world. It's of darkness. It's opposing the light, because we don't want to work hard to get what we need. We want to get it quickly before anybody else does. And not only that, we want to stomp on the other people that may want a part of it. So all of this harvesting energy. Because I was saying in my head, do they get access to instinct? And they said, well, when we've created our own energy field, we can no longer gain access, and we're no longer protected from the above. So in a sense, they're out there in the wonderland, able to be snatched by anything of a negative frequency that matches theirs, not just the higher. But the one thing that can bring them to a point where they can connect is the self-worth, working on the self path to gain more wisdom and more the things that we do. Now, you're not going to tell me that you can get like a mass murderer that's all of a sudden going to start working on the self path, but this would be the way that they do it. But this is not going to be an easy process when you've got someone so far left and they got to be on this side 7 or higher. It's just, it's not going to translate. So again, self-worth is what can slowly bring them out of it, is the sense. These people that do these things, not only do they not have self-worth, but they don't have worth in anybody outside of them. So how can they evolve? This is kind of the conundrum. A lot of these will be taken out. So on the higher frequency here, the 10, the completion of the way things were in the way of energy harvesting is just no longer allowed. Yeah. On top of that, we get confidence. And what do you know? Confidence and self-worth very highly connected. Yeah. I always make. I did some energy work with horses, and they're very regal, royal animals. They demand respect. Confidence is give me a minute here. Confidence is key. Like if you're a bad person and you try and ride a horse, that horse is just not going to take you, no way, shape, or form. Like they would be a paramount to if you were on a farm and you had horses and you brought someone around. It's like a dog. My dog don't like them, so there's something wrong. This is the same idea they're giving me. We have to have the confidence to move forward and leave those in the past that have wronged us or manipulated in this energy. There will be some that will try to convince, because we're dealing with manipulative energies. They've manipulated up to this point. Even though we're coming out and seeing the truth, they're still going to manipulate their way to try and stay in that form. And from above, they're saying they cannot make a mistake. They're taken out, but they can continue to manipulate as long as they stay on the right path. So in a sense, they can't manipulate. Give me a minute to figure this out. It sounds like a contradiction. It's like technically they can't. If they're given the path to go forward, they cannot manipulate no longer. In fact, it will feel unearthly to do this. Like every bone in your body is going, no, I can't. But they can still strive to do this on lower levels, but it'll be so obvious to those that are evolved. It's like, yeah, we're not having fun here. I'm trying to understand, because I think what they're trying to say is there will be squeakers, but they're going, no, if our heart is unpure and our heart is dirty, we're gone. If we do not want good for others, it'll be gone. It's those that are in an unconscious pattern that needs to become conscious. This is where we're going to find people that are a little different in the field. Trying to build a confidence that's not there. Give me a minute here. They're trying to explain something to me and just beyond me. The animals, too, they're evolving, right? Anybody that touches this earth evolves. Okay. And one of the things, like some people, they'll go, if my dog don't like them, I don't like them. That's a good motto to have. They're kind of showing me it's like animal world is going to react highly to these imbalances in the people that are striving to get higher. And even though their heart may be pure at this time, again, if they unpure their heart, they're taken out. So it's kind of like a kid that's unsure. Is it my turn to go to the front of the class and talk? Like they don't know. It's a very uneasy energy, but there will be people allowed to continue in that energy, and they will be quite obvious which ones they are, because it's like they don't know. They're in a foreign place. They don't know how to run things. Now they're showing me this. Why? We may have to help those along that are on the lower levels. But again, it's going to be very odd, they're not going to click into society, but it's like save our soul kind of thing. And the sense is they will gravitate to those that they won't gravitate. The higher ups will gravitate towards those people. So we might have like literal psychologists, psychiatrists, doctors that will take these people on and do the hard work with them in order to gain access. But again, very tortured souls, because we're in a world that is unlike anything we've ever dealt with. And it may have been a soul path thing, like a soul progression thing. Like you talk about baby souls, old souls. Old souls have lots of lives. They've learned lots of lessons. So they have a lot in their backpack to read from. These would be like baby or infant souls where they don't know, they got to follow someone, a leader, but nobody's like them. So how do they follow? This is kind of what I'm getting. They're making me aware of that, to make you aware of that. So there may be people like that. But again, it will take someone highly trained to look into these people and pull them along for the ride. And some of them may self-destruct, but that's not their path. They're meant to be absorbed by the whole and pulled forward. So again, people that have a higher calling will be more attracted to that energy, more curious to, infiltrate that and evolve that. So there'll be sectors here where things will be very uncomfortable, but these people will need help, is the sense. Okay, moving on to are we gonna go no, we're gonna go chakra cards here next. Confidence and self-worth. If you're working on this in your path within yourself, this is what needs to be focused on at this time. And also helping others do the same in the future. What we learn, we go outward and share, is what they're saying. Sorry, this is going to be a long reading. There's a lot of information here. I don't know if you can tell. My cheeks are hot. Heavy. Okay, so we're going to get into the chakra cards. This gets into the chakra system, and it'll bring out some energy here having to do with the healing that's needed over this time. We're coming to a precipice here of information that is going to be revealed. It'll be quite shocking for the masses, is what they said. And because of this, we're going to need healing from it. But we're also going to need a curiosity to dive into it and all of its grittiness in order to understand why this happened and heal from it, so we can completely move forward unencumbered, right? Unhinged from all of this. We don't want any of this baggage carrying us forward. You're showing me like a light switch going off. We want to understand it fully and completely, so we don't carry any of it with us into the future, because it could debilitate us. Just the trauma of it can debilitate us from moving forward. Okay. Oh yeah, the first card we get on the complications of healing is the King of Cups. And the King of Cups, he's about, sorry, the light. I'm going to see if I can, there we go. The King of Cups, he is about the heart, the all the emotion, right? The love and everything. This guy don't look too happy, but it's about the love. Self-love is the one cup that we start from. Loving the self and moving outward. This man, at this stage, they're wanting me to explain this. He could be fully evolved in his emotional center. He could be very involved with helping emotionally within his family and all of this. But he could also be someone who holds back the emotion and utilizes. He can be the energy harvester themselves. He can be, so we have the ability to go either way here, is what they're saying from this reading. Usually when we get into King's energy in my readings, I like to say, well, these are the guys that can be married. These are the guys that devote their time to family and all this stuff. But they're going, be careful, because this could go either way. Again, this is our past, right? So what they're saying here is, there may be people here that we give credit for having an emotionally valuable life, like they give of emotion, and they seem to have a high they care and give outwards to others. But these are energies that have been and continue to be manipulated, though there's a deadline here and we've hit it. So this is past energy. There may be people that go down that seem to have high heart energy. We're perceiving them as having a good heart, but they're going, make no mistake, we do not fall if we have a high heart. So there's no mistaking here, but there is manipulation, and this is what happened, and this is why we see some of this as an injustice. Is I'm getting, that's not right. They shouldn't have taken. They're going, make no mistake, these people's hearts were not pure. Okay. On the self-worth, right down the middle, the 10 of Cups, and that's emotional fulfillment, right? Gaining emotional fulfillment as we go forward within family, right? There's children here. There's a partner here that we love and care about. Yellow is a high vibrancy color as well, talking about happiness and cohesion and joy. And the sense they're giving me is within people and amongst people, we're going to find heart families. It may not be our initial families, and it may be all mixed up in the field, but there's going to be high heart pulls to people that we feel clarity with. One, symbol one, we're going to feel happy in their presence. Two, we don't feel judged by them at all. Like there's no negative connotations here. We are finding soul families that are for our highest good. And that's the 10 of Cups energy. And how do we get there? Through our own, finding our own self-worth. And then we gravitate to those that are of the same frequency. Okay. This is in the present. So this is kind of unconsciously what's going on anyway. This is what the universal energy is pushing in the field. We need to gain our own self-worth so we can gravitate more purely to those that are of similar, right? And pull those together as well. And then to become, bigger families, become bigger energy fields to overcome, right? And also have the ability to help us through, because if they're an energy match, they've gone through what we've gone through and . So as we go on to the confidence card, we get the 7 of Cups here. And this is about illusions or getting lost. The 7 of Cups can be about confusion. I get her laying here and deciding whether I should go into dreamland or whether I should look at my reality of what I'm dealing with here. Now there's 7 Cups. There's a high emotional investment here. Now, if we look at the line that we're coming from, that this card is clarifying, we're talking about the rattle and all of our parts coming back together. I feel like a lot of people are just going to want to plunk this into a conspiracy theory thing. And it just wouldn't be for their highest good to do that, because then we disregard it. And again, we can't heal from something that we don't acknowledge. The knowledge, again, there's going to be a need or a thirst for the knowledge here in order to see clearly. Sorry, there's glare. To see clearly what's gone on and whatnot. And that's a voracious appetite. There's a voracious curiosity that's going to come. It's like, okay, what have you heard about that? People are going to communicate, and it's in the field that you get those answers. It's in the field that they're displaying this information. So it's there for you if you choose to. It'll be very easy actually coming at you if you choose to look into it. If you don't, it will be very hard to avoid. Okay. Again, connecting with one. Once we understand the whole process, we deconstruct it. It kind of does make logical sense, as complicated as it's going to get. And I feel like the complications is making sense of how we could have been so, blind to things in the past. I feel like that's the complication. But once we realize, okay, yeah, I was blind. Okay, I was fooled. Now what? And we cut through all the illusion and we get to the root, which is the connection to the one source that is valid. because there's invalid sources here we're connecting to, and this is causing problems. This is what's causing the confusion. So that's this is the future line saying we're not going to be confused for long. It's going to be cleared up, and we're going to give you the answers. We're going to inject your field with all the answers. So if you choose, you can go and look into it, and you will seek and ye shall find, right? They did say that in my last readings here. And not only that, once you make that connection, you will gain the self-confidence that you need. It will just feel on levels that you just never felt before. Why? Because we're getting all our parts back. Energetically, it's like the teacher said, no, Frankie, you give me that toy that belongs to Johnny. Johnny, you took his toy, you give it back. Everybody's in the kindergarten room is giving back all their shit. That's what's happening. So the Seven of Cups is really going to be sorry, I'm yelling, the confusion factor that goes on. Do I want to stay in illusion, or do I want to really look at this? And even if I look at this, I feel like I'm living in a dream because it's so out there. It's so far gone. And this is a lot of the energy I struggle with all the time, because that's how you feel. It's like my daily life. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this isn't a reality. And they're going, yes, it is. It's reality. Like, how long do we have to tap you on the shoulder and show you the consequences? How long do we have to line it up? And, all the ducks are quacking and they're all in a row and they ain't got out of line once. Now, how long do we have to do this? We can't avoid it any longer. So I feel like there's, I don't know if it's media or whatever. Like I said, politics has just gone crazy anyway. I feel like it's just gonna, like the submarine rising. Here we go. So it is our choice how we deal with this, but they're saying we want you conscious and awake. We're halfway there already. This is part of the path to evolve in this way. So choose to be in the reality of everything that we feel is so unreal and dreamlike. Like, it's kind of crazy. That's what I'm getting here. Because it is a different world we're entering into, as simple as that. I mean, a lot of people were asleep here. No, I'm going here. Oh yeah, my above cards from the Book of Shadows deck. We'll get 3 more, and then I'm just going to say a little blurb about my own personal issue, a message that I need to get out. And then we'll bring a planetary card in. A lot of times I question whether or not I should put stuff out, and it's really dicey. It's really controversial. And it's gotten to the point now where I've not gotten anywhere holding anything back. So let's see. Let's just shove it out there, shall we? I'm at a point now where I don't give a shit. Judge me if you want on the information, but you may find in a month or two this is going to be very pertinent, because a lot of the information I spouted out again from like 2018 is just starting to come, or is playing out now. And it's like, I myself even question, well, how would I know in 2018? Well, it's because I'm listening to this same source, and it's doing the same thing. It's, there's a trust been built here. You could tell the frustration, because I've been fighting this. I've been fighting this for the last, since day 1 of this year. And I've also been fighting it heavily last year as well. And again, I'm not the only one in the field doing this. Okay, here we go. The above cards to expand on the King of Cups. Again, in the past, there are people that seem like they're emotionally sound, seem like they had all their, compassion in the right place, but we've been fooled by people in this way. So some people like this will go down and will think, well, that's not right. They shouldn't have gone down. But the thing is their heart was not pure. They were not for the highest good of everybody involved. So this is what I'm getting. This is going to be some of the confusion. So on the King of Cups, yeah, the Book of Shadows itself, knowledge, and belief. And I'm going to bring up that king because we're going to gain knowledge that's going to challenge our belief systems from here on in. And look at the devil's tail with all this knowledge. The devil is highly infused in all of this stuff that's been gone on. And again, part of the soul path, soul evolution is to bring people, certain people, into this field, because you think, why would I come at a time like this? To bring people in here to advance the soul, to learn, to help to humanity, this kind of thing. Man, it's heavy. Some people have a lot of wisdom. I'll say it, false wisdom, in a field that they manipulated to get what they wanted. There were prices to pay, but there were also shortcuts to gain, right? And some of these people, like I said, they come off as being compassionate on the surface. The mask, right, is compassion. But they are, because of their knowledge and belief system, which is highly ingrained, so in a sense, very conscious. This is, it needs to be sacrificed, is what I get. So on top of the 10 of Cups, we have the Death card, crisis of faith. I'm going to bring that. Crisis of faith, right? So that's about belief systems. Again, we're talking about, actually, I'm going to put this down and bring this up. Because really what it is here is the death of old systems that may have got certain people a lot of things, but at this time, the balancing, I feel like the Libra scales, right, are working their way through the energetic system, balancing things out, because the parent has said, oh no, Johnny, that's not correct. You can't do that. That's, when we're trying to teach our kids morals and just and right. Like my son, he's doing really good in football here. He's taken off to Texas, and they won their game. And a lot of what I try and infuse in him is, no matter how mad you get, you don't go outward in anger towards others, like good sportsmanship. And surprise to me, he actually is passing that on. He's convincing others of the same thing. And I said, that's interesting, because I didn't know if you had the faith in that power system to do. And what was going on there was basically someone had hurt him, right? You tackle, whatever. And then he told him off. And it's hard when your anger is right there. It's hard not to go back and do the same thing that person just told you off. It'd be so easy to say, F you, screw up, right? It's so easy to do that, to take the wrong path. But my son, he kind of just bowed his head and carried on. And what happened later was this guy actually came back and apologized, said, it's not, I shouldn't be doing that, And so it was the patience to wait it out, right? The patience to gain the knowledge and whatnot. Sorry, I'm getting lost here. Because there's people here are going to be called for what they're doing. The cancel culture, all that shit, we're not learning from this. We got to look at these people. They're human beings, yes. And again, if they're not valid, they won't be here. But there'll be people that need to be convinced otherwise. So the problem here is we have to look with some compassion at some point. And that's where this knowledge, gaining knowledge comes in, is where did these people get off path? Right? I'm not saying we all need to be psychiatrists and start, but a greater understanding from then just going out and saying F you and then wanting to hang this guy at the stake for what he did or she did. There's an end to a belief system here that's coming down the pipe. And because of this, a lot of people are going to be shocked out of a system that was all that they knew. So we gotta stand up and do what's right more than going back and fighting what's wrong. Okay. If that gets through, it's like we got to just stand up and do what's right instead of, going and fighting what's. So, like my son bowed his head and kind of, he felt bad for a long time until that guy got back to him and he apologized. And my son apologized. And I said, "And how did you feel?" He said, "Well, I felt better. Like it didn't hang over me anymore." And I said, "Yeah, that's so that you truly accepted it. You truly forgave them." But those people that, it's like eye for an eye, we can't do that anymore. We got to evolve here, because then you got to pay karma for that eye you took, even though you consider it valid above, it's not justified. So we got to learn from a higher source here. And that's the sense here, is getting rid of the devil's tail and ending that whole stream of belief and moving into a different power source. Now, what do we get as we go? We get the Six of Earth talking about a safe place. And look at them all hiding. I don't know if you can see this. There's little elves there, and some of them are in darkness, some are in light. And the ones in light are looking, they're hiding, but we see them, right? This is so pertinent. Because again, the Six of Cups, do we want to live in a dream world, or do we want to see? We want to see, like, and they're already, like, the light is gleaming on them. We can see them, little bits of them, but they're still trying to hide parts of them away. And the key words I put on there, it's like a safe place to hide. In the future, some people are going to continue to do this, but like I say, they're going to come out because they're going to be overpowered by goodness. And they're the ones that are meant to are going to feel this conflict within them. Those that don't are going to be taken away. This is making me laugh. Like, in a good way, because look at all the light shining down on these two. And they're going, are they going to come out of the shadows? Like, all they have to do is come out and be in their truth, and they can play with us. But they're going to hide, right? They're going to continue to hide because they feel like they're unseen. But the thing is that they're not. And that's where we're going here, is everybody will be seen, but they'll want to continue to hide. And again, the minute you step off that plank into darkness, you're going to be seen for it. And people they're doing this already. I'm laughing because I have to. Okay, I'm going to pull some wood cards, and then we're going to get into a planetary aspect here. They're trying to bring my vibration up because it's very heavy. We're talking about death and taxes here. Like, you can't get away from it. A little bit on the wild side. Okay. And then I'll get into a personal message at the end here. Because again, this is part 2 to the Pisces reading I've yet to publish. I don't know. I think I might just edit that tonight and get it out the next day or so. But anyway, wood cards as we move forward. Connecting to the earth, grounding out. Heather, transition and partnership. Okay. That's the beginning. That's why it all started. I'll try and get that video out tonight as soon as possible. I'll put it here, and then I'll put the rest of the series in the Rumble account. So that'll be the meat of everything. Still working on the spirituality readings, because there's been places in this year, every single one of my readings, like the series, there's been one doozy out of the bunch, one that's way out there. And I'm like, man, I may live in this field, but I don't feel like coming out of the closet, like the psychic closet right now, but they're just pulling me. It's like, come on, get out. We need help here. So this is why I'm doing this, kind of, not within, it's within my own will, because I see what's going on in other places. And I've had enough of certain things. So I'm kind of doing this as a rebellion. I can't even. Anyway, here we go. Okay. It all started with a call to a partner. Transition and partnerships. This whole abundance of energy come forth when someone was calling out to a soul partner. They're wanting that soul partner to come in for them. Unfortunately, they didn't know from their highest good about timing. So this is the root. Sorry, I'm an empath. Apple is right down the center. So that's a path, partnership. This is where it all started. And again, this may connect with Pisces more over than others, but not necessarily. So don't cancel it just because you're not a Pisces. The apple card right down the middle talks about choice and healing. There's a choice that is needed to be made at this point. I do not feel there is a fair fight going on. I feel there's a lot of illusion going on in the field right now, so it's hard to see. But nonetheless, it's about choices we make here. We go dark or we can go to light. And that's the bottom line, right? Look at her, cloaked in black and white, and she has a good apple and a bad apple, and she does not know which is the sense. This is kind of where we're sitting in this immediate point right now. As we go into the future, we get the vine, which is very much like very similar to the first card that started it all off, because interestingly enough, yeah, this is like an Adam and Eve thing. The vine is about completion and harvest. And look at the hand holding. We started with this energy here. Look at this snake as well. That's a snake, is it not? And I just said snake in the grass. Yeah. So the snake was among us, joining us with something that was not of pure heart, but it was binding us to that, no less. We made a choice to go into this. In fact, we were fooled quite highly. Pick one. I can't tell you which one's poisonous, but pick one and you'll find out. Now we transition into the current or future energy here of, I couldn't make this up if I tried, completion and harvest of that union. So the sense is we may have been tied to someone spiritually here, but we will connect to that person. And this is like the woodman, what's he called? He is the wisdom of the trees, this guy. I can't remember his name offhand here. I got too much stuff floating. But so what ends up happening is we do end up coming together with a partner that we're meant to be with and disconnecting from that which was in darkness. Now, yeah, so this is a nice ending because it just is so cohesive. Like even if I picked cards to put together, I wouldn't know to pick these. Start out with a tainted connection where the choice needs to be made to bind to this person. Again, we're bound without our free will. But now we go forward, even though we made a connection to something that was not true of heart, we will go towards our heart partner because what was in the dark will be exposed, and now there's only one other option, and we go in that direction. So that's relieving for those on a torturous spiritual path. And again, if you're using telepathy in the field and you're talking about twin flames and stuff, this is very much where this energy sits. This is very much where they infiltrated. This is very much where they hijacked the energy field. So if you're in that field, get the fuck out. Okay. My planetary card. Just saying, just get out. Don't have no explanation, nothing. Just get out. The field is tainted. It is polluted unless you know, right? Again, use your own instinct, but Man, if it's validating, get out. It's just going to continue to manipulate and deteriorate and your psyche. And it's after your soul and it's got it. But if we choose to not let it, we empower that. Okay, so the planetary aspect here, what's going to come out? And I'm going to, over the next few days, continue to try and finish off the rest of these spiritual readings. Like I said, it was threw me right off track, but maybe it was putting me on track. And okay. Sun in Aries, a leap of faith and new beginnings. Number, look at this, the first card in the deck. Start, a new start. Everything starts fresh today. Why? Because we got the truth. This connection was infiltrated. We're disconnecting now with the knowledge that is not for our highest good. We knew this all along. We were coming to it. This is just validation points for most. Sun is full on energy. Aries is taking action and going forward. These porpoises are super high vibrational animals, dolphins, mammals, whatever. And they're reinforcing my field. Just the other day, they were showing me videos about dolphins and giving me clarity. Yes, they're high vibrational. Yes, they work on a different frequency field. Yes, they also work to help increase the vibration on the earth. Yes, they do. Aries is the beginning of the zodiac. It's all about the start fresh point here. Now with clarity, vibrancy, and hopefully our sun can beam in the power and happiness as we go forward in this new energy. Because this new beginning, it's all about what's ahead of us, not what's behind. We have to deal with and heal with the same thing. But that's a beautiful card. And isn't it just really the light, right? Sun is full on light beaming, new beginnings, having connection to spiritual energy that is of the highest high. A leap of faith is needed, though I don't think it's much. I hate to say it that way, but when we go from being tainted, right? We go from being tainted by the snake to being free and unlimited. It's not such a leap of faith. It's just there. It's a logical conclusion because the darkness has been taken out of the mix. So now we can go freely. That's the thing. It was not of our free will. Now we can go freely in this new way. Okay, so that's the end of the reading. Secondly, I do have to say something here. From my own personal path. This is a culmination. This is a culmination of stuff I've been in the field. All my life I've been in this field. But my curiosity brought me to a point. Thanks, Solaria, for that. Brought me to a point where I see more clearly why I have a curious nature that is just not logical. Because in the greater grand plan, it was logical. And I know I'm not the only one going through this. I know this. The bottom line is there was a certain trajectory that people on this evolutionary path, they try to follow. And even if you know that there's treachery out there, you could just fall right into it because it's meant to teach you, right? It's meant to teach you. So I just want to say this. There's eyes looking at me in hatred. And there's also eyes looking at me from another side of things. And if you have those eyes, you may be going through the same thing. And because of this, it may explain a lot in your field as to why shit doesn't go right when it comes to this particular direction in your life. And I just kind of want validation of that. I want to know. I want to find out why that is, good or bad. I have disconnected as much as I can at this point, and I know it's in conjunction with the higher that I'm connected to. There's a lot of fluctuation in my field. So for every 2 feet I put in to go forward, they pull me back 5, and I never get to where I need to be. So if you have any insight in this way, contact me. Let's talk. Because I'm so mad. I was trying to hold back my anger in the reading. I didn't even know if I was going to shoot it out. Again, the reading's not even there yet. But I'm going to edit it. I'm going to get my ass on it and edit it tonight. And there ain't nothing stopping this reading from coming out. And as shocking as it was for me, it makes sense. It's the only thing that made sense. And from here, I will do what I need to do to get through to the right side. And there's nothing and no one that can prevent that from happening, because that is my destined path and it is protected. That needed to be said one last time before I find out where I need to go. And that's the personal message. And that's the end of Pisces or Collective Part 2. Sorry, the shape, my hair is a mess. I just, very impromptu. I didn't do my hair, I didn't brush it, nothing. I just went to my appointment, come back, sat down in front of the computer and said, that's it, we're going on. So if this energy makes sense to you, connect to others that it can help you with it. If you just need someone to hear you out, I can be there. I'll put my email address if you want to tell me a story, if you want to, whatever. Go outward to others of like mind. Hopefully it helps you in some kind of way. I know this has been a huge discovery in my field, and I don't even know. I haven't even had reaction time yet to let this float over. I haven't. I read it last night. I said, okay, this is whack. I'm going to bed. And I woke up this morning with shit in my head. I don't even want to repeat, but I've had enough here. There's enough here. And I said, that's it. I can't hold this back. So here it is. If it helps you, let it be so. Never substitute my instinct for your own. If this creates validation, then so be it. The energy is lifting. So for all that are struggling on this back and forth path, it's lifting. Take care, have fun, and be kind, and we will talk soon.